Hello, folks. We are, if all goes well, presently live. I do apologize in advance for any technological weirdness. Please let us know if you cannot hear or see or otherwise perceive us, because that is indeed the point of what we are doing here. But welcome to everyone. You may notice that there are twice the amount of people that are normally here. Our guest today is Amy. So go ahead and introduce yourself. I've got a list of questions that I will answer first so you get an idea. Name. I am Jacqueline or Janity on the internet. What do you do and enjoy? I make crochet things and I enjoy making crochet things, and also like Dungeons and Dragons and reading books and all sorts of fun, nerdy stuff. My Irish heritage comes from my dad's side of the family. My great grandparents both came to the U.S. from Ireland, and that's like a very strong point of like pride and identity in that side of my family. And I am working on today what will eventually become a Kelpie, if all goes according to plan. I'm still figuring out whether I want to do like a mermaid style tail or like a tentacle style tail. But I'm working on the head right now, so we've got plenty of time.
Nice. Hi, I'm Amy, and what do I do? I am a bookseller and illustrator. What do I enjoy? I enjoy drawing and reading. What is my Irish heritage? I also have Irish heritage on my dad's side of the family. I don't know how far back it goes, actually. Like when people moved over. I know my grandmother was born in America, but that's about it. But we are very proud of it. Yeah, as is the Irish American stereotype. Yeah, never gonna let that one go. And what am I working on today? I am going to be drawing a selkie in honor of the seal that Jacqueline's making.
Aww.
So, yes.
That is lovely. I'm excited to see this selkie.
I made a pre-drawing so I can see this is my plan.
Okay. I did not know that like selkies were a thing until I saw a movie that I'm now blanking on the name of.
Was it a cartoon?
It was a cartoon. It's from that one place that does the good ones.
Yeah, the good ones.
Yeah.
Is it Song of the Sea?
Yes, it is Song of the Sea.
I love that. Yeah.
I had a feeling I could rely on you for adorable children's animation with Irish folklore.
Right? I feel like it's a little bit up my alley.
Yeah, in several different ways.
All the alleys.
Mm-hmm. But you will be illustrating a selkie today. I wanted to ask what you love about illustration, because apologies for crochet hook noises. Clearly, like, it is something that you either enjoy doing or, if I'm deeply misunderstanding, something you have forced yourself to do for many years. But I'm guessing the former is more likely.
I mean, sometimes it is both. I think it started with someone saying, oh, you're good at this thing, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this my entire identity. When I was like 8 or so, I said, oh, you draw okay. And I was like, yes, that's it. That's the thing. But then it is just a perfect avenue for playing pretend, and that's my real favorite thing to do, is just have my head up in the clouds as much as possible, and then be able to depict it on paper. It's like, I don't know, it's just really satisfying, right?
That is so wonderful. Yeah, I think that's probably why I love illustration so much, is like, it's a medium for storytelling, because it's really hard, and it can be really frustrating, and both of those things together aren't always like a simile for fun, but it's worth it, because then you have this thing that you've made and it's
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, every time I see one of your illustrations, I just feel like this is a world of like whimsy and wonder that I do want to immediately be in. Like, which is something that like
Oh,
I don't know, it's hard to describe, but I love it. Absolutely.
that makes
Um
me happy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I want to be too, which is why I'm always drawing.
It's like I'm there in my brain, so I might as well be there in my drawing. And
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. Just bring it to life.
Mhm. So you do like drawing those like fictional universes and like folk tales and mythology and that kind of thing. Why is that other than wanting to be there? And what other things do you love to draw?
Um, I I love drawing different worlds, and I think one of the reasons why I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Uh, I guess it's like a lot of those places, like if we're talking about Irish mythology. Oh yeah, also happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St.
Um,
Patrick's Day.
or
Top of the
St.
next
Patrick's Day.
morning to you.
Yeah, top of the next morning.
We are a day
Um,
late because of when Fridays fall. But please
yeah,
continue.
exactly. But yeah, so we were talking about Irish mythology and why do I like this kind of world? And I guess it's just vibes. Like there's
Hmm.
something about the the wildness or the untamedness of mythologies that I think is really attractive. Uh, so yeah, yeah.
I love the description of wild and untamed. Because there is a sense in that of like you could be like walking along in the forest on a very normal day and then have your voice stolen or like have something strange happen, and there's a bit of like fear but also wonder in that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, exactly. And
yeah.
like stuck on a fairy ring and end up somewhere completely different at a completely
Yeah.
different time. And yeah, that unknowing is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes hand in hand with like, you know, um, playing pretend or like this sort of ephemeral like doesn't really exist kind of thing. Like that's sort of what fantasy and
Yeah.
mythology have for them. It's like yeah, an untouched feeling. I don't know.
That is a good, yeah, a sense of, I feel, yeah, the same sense of imagining like a mythical, fantastical world is like a similar sense that I would get when I would read about like weird ocean creatures that like had been
Yeah.
discovered, that I was like, I had no idea this was on the planet that I am also on, of that undiscovered. That's a really cool way of thinking about it. I don't know if I ever would have used those words, but that's
um,
fantastic.
yes, and I would say also it's good because it's in a safe environment because it's pretend.
Yes.
Because sea creatures are not pretend, and those
Sea
are very
creatures
scary.
are so wild and strange. Yeah, there's
Very
a certain
wild, very strange.
safety, like you can explore whatever because it is, yeah, known fictional. Um,
Yeah, there's that bit in the back of your head that's like, what if it's not? But it's also
but it
like,
is,
oh,
but
but
it
then you
super
can go.
is.
It super is.
There's one children's book. I have not been able to find it, despite looking at a lot of children's books for years. That was like about dinosaurs, and like it was this child like imagining, um, like all these dinosaurs, and then it was like, oh, but they've gone extinct, so like what a relief. But then the last page of the book is like the child in their bedroom, and there's like a T-Rex eye outside, and that stayed with me, and I still remembered the absolute panic of like, but what if it is though?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There are no dinosaurs any longer.
But
But
what if there was a secret one? Oh man.
yes.
Uh The next question ties in a bit with like imagining being present in worlds like this, but is also just a fun one that I definitely didn't think of an answer for myself ahead of time, so I'm going to I'm going to struggle a little bit. But if you could travel to fictional worlds in your dreams, which would you want to go to? I'm assuming for the sake of this discussion, you cannot be harmed or die in this fictional world.
Okay,
Because that
absolutely.
feels
Yes, in your dreams, you can wake up afterwards.
that feels safe.
Yes, yes, please. Well, of course, I love the Lord of the Rings, so I would love to go to Middle Earth. Yes, yeah, that'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And also like Miyazaki films. I always am like, I just want to be inside right now, inside of this television screen. I would like to go inside.
Yes, absolutely. I hadn't even considered Miyazaki worlds because like not only do I like the like worlds that are contained within that, but I like the way that things that we can do in our worlds are like presented. Like I have never gone on a walk or a picnic that was as wild and joyous as a little picnic in a Miyazaki world would be.
Right? Oh.
Like I'm just like imagining, especially like the food and like little, yeah, like if I had a giant bow on my head, I would not feel like a sweet little witch. I would feel very silly. And I think that is I would like to be able to do that in my dreams.
I was Kiki for Halloween, and the bow was okay. Yeah.
Okay. When was this? And when was this, and are there pictures? Okay.
There are some pictures, probably. I'll have to see if I can send them to you.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at the bookstore, so it's,
Yeah.
to dress up.
Oh yes, I feel like especially if you're working. The bookstore is split into a side that is the children's section, the side that is everything else. So especially if you're working in the children's section, I feel like you've gotta like. It's just irresponsible to the children.
Right, exactly. So I mean, we didn't end up having very many children because it's a pandemic, and
Well.
it's like yeah, but that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
But still.
Just in case there were, though, I was ready.
Yes. Oh, that is lovely. I think I would also want to travel to Middle Earth. I have a stronger attachment to the Hobbit books than the Lord of the Rings books because I read The Hobbit as a kid. And like enough adventure where it's like really like putting yourself out there and like wild wolves and strange trolls and beasts like that, but also like you can find a little hobbit hole with tea in it and you can make friends along the way. Like that would be very pleasant.
Definitely want to go to the Shire.
Yes.
Love to go to Rivendell.
Mm-hmm. I would want to be in a universe where I like personally could use magic because I feel like that's like the key dream. Like you can fly in your dream or you can whatever in your dream. I don't know what kind of magic I'd want to use though. Like there are so many different fun. I don't know.
Yes.
Whatever would feel the most exciting.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. Because you also don't want to be like the person who can't do magic in this magic world.
Yeah, that would be a real bummer. It's like if I wake up, I can't do magic. Why am I falling asleep and not able to do magic either?
Darn it. So it'd be like somewhere where everyone can do it. Or like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said that, my first thought was like the Chronicles of Crestomancy and Diana Wynne-Jones. She has this way of dealing with magic that's sort of like mundane.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really fun.
I have never read Diana Wynne-Jones, and I feel like I should rectify this.
Yeah, she's great. She has a good sense of humor, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Big fan of J.R.R. Tolkien. You'll probably like her.
I think it'll go well. There are just so many authors and worlds that it's like, well, like, I want to get to this, but when?
I know. It's so tough. We're like, just put it on the list.
The ever-growing list.
Yep. The one-day list.
All right, I'm going to take this moment to add eyes to the Kelpie. I have foregone a crafting camera. I mentioned this to you earlier, Amy, but I'm explaining for viewers' sakes. I've foregone a crafting camera to minimize technical difficulties, just because that feels wise until I get like a real strong grip, particularly on like hosting another video feed. So that is the thought behind that. But here are the eyes.
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be like a little horse snoot. I made
Yes.
let me see. My headphones are not long enough to allow me to grab it, but I made a little like dragon design that had like the snout on it, and now I am ready to go wild to be like horses and unicorns and hippos.
All the snouts. The sweet snouts.
So here's your safety eye ASMR if you can hear that. I see that you have made progress on yours as well. How are you feeling about your drawing?
Good. Sometimes I forget to talk and draw at the same time, so you have to remind me.
That
Do
is
a lot of drawing
A-okay.
without talking.
I think I realized partway through that I wanted to know the answers to so many of these questions and hear your thoughts on things that I had perhaps over-focused on the chit-chat part of this. So take a talk break to complete the Kelpie snout.
It's yeah, good.
Yeah. Also, thank you to input from Thomas voting for a mermaid-style tale, citing the fact that tentacles give players nightmares. This is very true.
Oh.
I recently had one of my Dungeons and Dragons players cast a spell that like emitted black tentacles from the ground that would like grab people. And they didn't feel good about casting the spell, and they didn't feel good about me describing what happened. So for the rest of the session, I did not say the word tentacles. I just said difficult terrain. I was like, the beast is grabbed by the difficult terrain. You wade your way through the difficult terrain.
Tentacles can be pretty scary.
It's true. It is true. But yeah, I was thinking about the Shin Megami Tensei and Persona series designs for the Kelpie, which do have that like tentacle spookiness to them, which looks super cool. And I will also say that tentacles look great in crochet because it's all like springy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think perhaps going for a cuter version of this horse that will drown you in the depths. I will say that there is, I mean, all of folklore has a very like scare the children so they don't make bad choices vibe to it, but something about Irish folklore in particular is just deeply unforgiving.
Yeah.
It's like, don't go wandering into a river or you'll drown with a giant horse. Like, oh no.
I mean, it could be a giant horse, or it could be, Jenny Greenteeth, or it could be
Jenny Greenteeth.
I don't know who else is in the water. I think red caps will suck your blood. I don't know. Mythological creatures in general are just really dark. Yeah.
Yeah. It might be fun to create like if we had that same, I guess we do have that same method of storytelling now. I was watching, I don't recommend this because it was the most like, oh god, this was made in the 1960s thing that I've ever experienced, but I watched 2 entire seasons of the old Batman TV show, and like it also is like it was very much like stay in school, kids, or else the Joker will recruit you to his gang. And I was like, oh wow. And all of the bad kids were like smoking and gambling, and it was very bad. And the Joker,
like a Dare advertisement.
it felt so much like a Dare advertisement.